There is no cylinder head. It's full of grass. That one's got some dust in it. We got cobwebs going on in that one back there. Lovely little rat's nest. Probably a chipmunk nest actually, because I know there's at least one chipmunk living in this car. Lots of loose things and missing parts. I've even gone through and reconnected some things in here, so it was worse. The fan's in here, the cam cover's in here, the airbox cover's in here, the timing cover's in here. Coolant reservoir, lower intake hose that goes in front of the airbox. It's spare gas cap, I guess. Different color, but I guess I have one of those now. This is a power steering pump. That doesn't bode well. Wipers don't have blades on them, so I gotta tape those up before they scratch something, even though my windshield's already cracked, so it doesn't matter. Visors, that one looks like it's inflated. I don't like that. Headliner's pretty much there, except that rear corner, it's fallen down. Not too bad though, overall. It's pretty intact. The door's still closed like a Swedish car. This hatch is probably gonna have to go because I can get my whole finger into that rust hole. Paint didn't hold up too well on the top, but on the sides, this will all clean up really well. It's actually not that bad to begin with. Need a new hinge up here. Got tape over the holes for now. Looks like some of that wiring got pinched off too. Got to realign the gas cap because it doesn't close. Means this hinge in here must be a little bit bent. I also need to find a gas cap for it. We got a trailer hitch though. No exhaust system. Brakes work. Suspension is at least good enough for the car to sit on it and not collapse. So I guess that works too. It looks a little rough right now, but we're not really missing that much. The cylinder head's over there and it is a Volvo red block, so I'm sure we can get it running. Can't be that hard. Famous last words. Cylinder bores now do not have junk in them, which is nice. And I got that awful rat's nest out. What happened a few months ago was cylinders 1 and 4 were up, 2 and 3 were down, and water got into the cylinder bores. So there wasn't much water in 1 and 4, we just wiped that out, but 2 and 3 had plenty in them, and at the time, we were just goofing around with the car, and so we yanked the crank pulley over by hand, pushed these 2 cylinders off, and it drained a lot of the water out. What that means is that these cylinder walls are relatively clean. These cylinder walls are rusty, and they've had the piston pushed up into them now. So, wasn't really thinking through that one. We oiled these 2 so that when I push them back down, they hopefully aren't as hard to move. So these are going to be the worst too, because they had the most water in them. Come on. All right. That's about it. As you can see, 2 and 3 are definitely a little bit crusty. Maybe a lot crusty. But this is all just gunk buildup. I was worried that was pitting. It's not. It's just junk and sediment that settled out of the water when it was in here. So these should clean up just fine. I've made this highly advanced tool here. It's obviously the cutting edge of technological innovation. It's a piece of foam with cardboard on it. So you put this thing down in the cylinder, like so, kind of pack the foam down in there. And then you work in here and you make all these little chips of debris. So you just pull this thing up and it pulls all the junk out with it, and then you can vacuum it up. That's the theory anyway. I have yet to test it, but I'm optimistic. I'm not sure if you can see that too well, but this side there's still kind of a ridge down about there. There's kind of a band of buildup of some kind of gunk, and then this one is starting to look really nice. Based on the difference between these two, the one that I've worked and the one that I haven't, I think it's working. I just got to do this for another 13.5 million hours and then we'll be good. Number 2 cleaned up really well. So, time to do number 3 and then maybe make a quick pass in 1 and 4 just to clean them up. It wasn't too bad, it was only 30 or so minutes of work. There's number 3 all cleaned up. Got 1 and 4 cleaned up here. 4 took a little bit of work, mostly around this bottom side here because the water pooled on that side. And then number 1 was almost perfect. I don't even think it got wet in the first place. It feels great. Hardly had to do anything to it. Since I got all the cylinder bores looking pretty good, I think it's time to clean up the block face here and then should be ready for a head gasket. Well, I'd say that's pretty good. All that old gasket material came off courtesy of this. You gotta love an iron block because you can just go at it with one of these and not worry too much about scratching it as long as you're still sort of careful. Before I can put the cylinder head back on, I want to clean it up some. It's really not in bad shape, but it's got a lot of, oil and grime and stuff on it. So, I've been letting it soak with some solvent on there. I'm gonna wipe it down and just try to get it a little bit cleaner before I bolt things back onto it. Got my highly advanced engine cleaning stand here. Alright, the head's all cleaned up. Had to do a little bit very gently with a steel gasket scraper, which is not ideal, but it did get these looking very nice. Other side's pretty good, but it's dark, so can't see that. In preparation to get the head on, got a few things to deal with up here. Heater hoses are going to need to get done. And of course there are lots of, loose lines. Don't have a fuel pressure regulator, that fuel return is loose, throttle cable's loose. This thing is just kind of hanging around up here instead of being bolted to that bracket, which is where it's supposed to be. There's no MAF sensor. We need a transmission pan so we can put fluid in it and not kill the transmission pump when we test fire the engine the first time. Here we have a drain pan from the transmission on a Kia Sportage, about a 2002 or so. I can't remember exactly what year. Lovely. Here we go. Woo!
Okay.
Down. Good. Okay, let go. I got it. This car has an AW70 4-speed automatic. Came with no drain pan. This drain pan is supposed to fit because the Sportage also used an Ace & Warner AW70 with the same bolt pattern, we think. Problem is that the junkyard punched a hole in it to drain the fluid instead of pulling the drain plug that is conveniently placed like 4 inches away from where they punched a hole in it. We're gonna try to patch the hole. It seems like a stupid part to have to scrounge up from a junkyard with a hole in it, but we couldn't find one anywhere else, so this is what we gotta work with. Got the drain pan hole a little bit flatter. Gonna clean it up some and then find a plug for it. Before I put the head on, I want to get these old heater hoses off. I'm gonna replace them, and they're very hard to get off when the head's on, especially when they get old and dried out like this. So I'm gonna pull them off now. Pull the PCV box off now, and then we'll put the cylinder head back on. Alright, we're here on the driver's side of the car to take the PCV box out. It's down here on the side of the block. There's one of the bolts you gotta take out, and there's the other one. Got the PCV box out. This is the breather box, I guess, technically. A nice classic Volvo mod here where you forget to buy a new O-ring for this thing, and then when you go to put it back in, you realize the old O-ring's torn, and so you just put some RTV on it and slap it back together. But, you know, it works. Nice. A little bit chunky. Alright, number one in the middle. So, 15 foot-pounds. Nice and light. Oh, nice, the light went out again.
Take 2 is 68 meters.
44 foot-pounds. Okay. Start with number 1. Stage 3 is an additional quarter drum.
Metal for cracks.
Doesn't look cracked.
It's just a broken bolts and studs, using a scraper, blah, blah, blah. Install the intake manifold with a new gasket and tighten the bolts finger tight, starting at the center and working out in both directions, tightening the bolts in a crisscross pattern until the torque listed in the chapter specifications is reached.
Right. They forgot the step where you drop one down where the PCB box used to be.
Oh.
That's an important step. You wouldn't want to forget it. Oh, there, where'd you go? Oh, there it is. I see it.
I feel like I'm seeing running there, so
Yeah,
does
you
it
know?
need to come up a little? You could potentially back those off a little bit and get.
kind of already
Okay,
did.
you won't get much.
It might leverage up some, leave like some threads engaged there. Oh, actually, that helps a fair bit. Pushed as hard as I could, loosened these as far as I wanted to, got those started with like one thread engaged, was very scared and just super gently I figure, worst case, I strip it and then...
Yeah, you should be able to go ahead and start the others at this point.
Yeah.
Locate them. So did you get the ground strap off?
No. I hate exhaust work. It's not fun. Everything's rusted and heat cycled and just doesn't want to come loose. Wow, that moved. Someone must have worked on this before me. And we got us an O2 sensor. This really looks pretty good. The faces I'll clean up a bit. They aren't too bad, but they could be cleaner. Even this face, like, that's good. That's really nice. Now, this is a coolant reservoir, obviously. Shouldn't sound like that. Great.
29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. It's just one of those annoying things. Of, why couldn't they make it 36? Because it's 10 degrees,
right. Yeah,
you know.
you just do 10.
So it's probably just worth double checking. Yeah, so
It's like a
this inside surface.
Yeah, it's like a 3/16 inch long V-shaped indent.
There's a little white paint mark on the very outer edge, very front edge of the cover.
Oh, yeah. There
is that the same?
Yep, I see that.
Gizmo?
Yep.
Okay. We put a piece of tape or something on the back side of this, and then fish a mirror down there, a long skinny mirror, and see if we can get both in sight.
I think that's the way to go. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to try it and see. I'll try to hold this side back a little.
Okay. See if I can get eyes on that mark. Can you rotate the sprocket just a little bit? I want to see if I can.
Oh, because it's upside down too. Being concave, it flips everything.
Oh. That might be part of being disoriented.
I feel like I'm on it. Yeah, I can see the groove, and we need to go a tiny bit more. Spot on. And dead on there too.
Okay.
This is why we number our distributor caps.
not really seeing anything offhand, but
Yeah.
it's hard because it could just be that it's accumulating there.
It could
like if
be.
it's higher up.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's the cruise module. All the dash wiring's fallen down. The carpet's like somehow folded back and I can't unfold it. Vacuum lines all over the place. And of course we got the leaves in here because every 240 that doesn't have its vents cleaned gets like an entire forest's worth of compost under the dashboard. Yep, right on.
Yeah. I saw one spark.
Okay, please.
Yep. Okay, give it a whirl.
We were trying to start the car last weekend and weren't getting fuel. And, you know, I could hear a fuel pump working and I thought both were working, but turned out it was only the primary pressure pump that was working and the sending unit pump was not. That rust is not ideal. At least the spare tire well isn't too bad. A little bit up in that front corner, but the bottom of it's still there, and there's some at the back too. That taillight housing is shot. Okay. Still gonna be hooked up to one of these wires when it comes out. Forgot how tricky it is to finagle this thing out. Radio inhibitor is falling apart as expected. Yep, that's in pieces. Awesome. Great. Oh, I haven't broken the coils yet. Please don't break the coils. Come on. I know I've done this before, so like there is a way to do it. The ball on the float is like way too high up. Oh, lovely. Well, there's a trick. I don't like it, but it's a trick. And now okay, here we go. Apparently the trick is for this thing to just fall apart. And I didn't break the coils off. There's now a piece of this housing in the tank. Great. I'll go fishing in there later. Working with parts this small in 2 layers of gloves in 30 degrees, or less than that now that the sun's setting, in these little tiny coils that like to bend and break, not a fun time. But by some miracle, this is all actually going together.
That's weird looking stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Ah, got it first try. I just don't think it's going on any more than that. I hate a lot. Did I break any of the wiring? I don't think I did. We'll find out later when it doesn't work again. Okay, we've hit fuel. New lines are connected. Siphoned out some of the old fuel that had water in it, we think, and then poured some heat in there, hoping to dry out what's left of the fuel. We're also going to put some fresher gas in it now and then try for another start. Here we go. Oh, the white person in the back. I was like, Eric. Good thing I put a new blade on it. Alright?
Yep.
Here we go.
What?
A little bit of smoke somewhere there. Yep. Am I the only one who saw that?
I did not see it.
It's also possible I saw my graph or something and it just, the way the
Yep.
lighting is, I can only see it where the engine, because there's I'm looking through a gap between the hood and the cowl.
Yep.
But I think that's where it was. Oh, hey, we got a fuel leak.
It's not that much fluid leaking now, right?
Well, it was when it was on.
Oh, right. We didn't have any back pressure before.
Oh, yeah. Target acquired?
It's all rusty.
It's not leaking anything, is it?
No, I'm just checking.
Still not smelling any gas. I'm still suspicious of the injectors.
Right.
Kind of surprised it's not catching more.
Could just be really crappy gas.
It's also, yeah, it is probably really bad gas.
I need you to tell me what that wetness is there and where it came from.
The wetness is fuel coming from somewhere I don't want it to be coming from. Maybe just the end of this line.
I don't think it's coming from the injector.
No, it's coming. I think it's coming from this
Yeah, actually, I see some wetness.
on the end of the
Thanks.
hose. Yeah, I'll crank that one down. I killed it that time because it kind of took off. When I set this up, it wasn't like this. It was tight. Yeah, something's messed up there. It's like it's not closing all the way. So the reason the valve isn't closing is because there's a walnut shell in the way. That is a walnut shell jamming the butterfly valve. Well, we are screwed.
Why?
Intake's coming off.
Everybody in there?
Yep. Throttle body is loose and out of the way. Can't even get my hand in here. There it is. So now the question is, do I have a new throttle body gasket? I don't know. Alright, throttle body is back on with a new gasket. No more nut in the intake. This is tight. You can see that the throttle cable actually has tension now. And hopefully the car actually idles now. It might have been choking on too much air when it was trying to start.
It was a very hard time starting.
We'll start right up now. The alternator.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, well, because I don't have the belts on fixed. I don't have the tension. Ready? Yeah. Cool. Here we go. That's a running car. Sounds smooth. I don't hear you riding that or anything terrible.
I was, when I heard the whining, I was like, water pump, transmission? Water pump in the transmission, or, you know.
I was thinking water pump. Sounds kind of reasonable. They're Volvo. Yeah. Definitely need a new seal for that. Put that on the list. And gauge cluster, need a fan shroud, need a battery, and then I'll see if I can sort out the tensioner. I'll just do it instead of telling you what I'm thinking about doing. Yeah, some of these feel more like exhaust nuts. Right. They're all pretty equally gross though. As hard as a rock. Like, this is just plastic now. No flex. I can get the light to stay put somewhere useful, which I can't. Evidently, hang on. I need it to go anywhere else but where it is now. And it simply won't do it. Wires. Wires. Wires with broken plastic. Wires. Well, that sucks.
But Tim, that sucks.
Just doing that, I hate
okay.
that job so much. Stupid piece of crap. I probably wasn't even recording. Oh, I was. Ooh, nice seat.